The long-awaited new game mode Capital Supremacy has been released. Here are my quick thoughts, my first impressions. As soon as the game loaded up, the first thought that popped into my head was, man, this is what I've wanted from Battlefront since Battlefront 2015 came out. Hey, do you like Star Wars? Then click that subscribe button. Right off the bat, I'm going to talk about something I think should have been added into the game. So with this enormous map that has 5 capture points, I found myself palling around with the same cluster of troops, running from point to point, which is fine, which was fun. But in a game mode like this, you either need voice communication per squad or a squad leader function with a order system. I think the ability for a squad leader to look at a point, click a button, and notify his or her squad to either attack or defend would be such a huge feature for coordination and teamwork in this game mode. I mean, we have the new squad system. Well, I guess it's not really new now, huh? It's been out for a long time. But yeah, you know what I mean. So let's use that squad system to its full advantage. Capital Supremacy feels good, man. It feels like what I've wanted these modern Battlefront games to feel like. Of course, I love me some small-scale modes, but when I think of Battlefront, I think of massive maps, I think of Battlefield, I think of multiple capture points, I think of non-linear gameplay. And that's what this mode gives us. The map is gorgeous, yes. It's just one map. And it's gorgeous, which goes without saying, but yes, it is only one map right now. I'll get to that later. So there are 2 phases to this mode. In the first phase, your team has to run around capturing points. If the Republic is able to hold more points longer than the Separatists, then they board some spaceships and fly to the Separatist capital ship, where phase 2 begins. In phase 2, the Republic has to capture some points as well. I think I like the first phase more. I was worried about the first phase, honestly, because sometimes these enormous maps don't really appeal to me. Just getting dinged from across the map from sniper fire or fire from I have no idea where the hell it came from, but I never felt totally vulnerable from distant attacks in this game mode. I always felt like there was adequate cover for me to duck behind. I always felt like the terrain worked to my advantage. The first phase is fun as hell, running from point to point, capturing, running, capturing, running. The only issue that I found, and maybe this was just my experience, but I found that players didn't really stick around to defend points. The bots, yes, there are a few bots on each team, are often used to defend points. And I wonder if that's why they are there in the first place. To give the illusion of defense. So when your 8-deep crew rolls onto a new capture point and there are 4 bots sitting around it, it makes it feel like it's defended when in reality it's not, and you just cut the bots down like butter. See, if there was a squad leader notification system, then a squad leader could tell his or her squad to squat on that point. Let's defend it, guys. And hey, maybe they could implement some kind of system where following your squad leader's commands could earn you extra battle points or XP, encouraging teamwork. Because at the moment, everyone seems to attack, and defense appears to be left to the bots. Again, that's just my experience. Maybe your experience is a lot different than mine. The first phase is really where Capital Supremacy shines. I was initially iffy about the idea of this mode being 2 phases. You know, I like giant maps with capture points, and I didn't want to move from that to something else in the same game, in the same match. But I have to say, I've been pleasantly surprised. The first phase lasts a good amount of time, and the second phase is actually optional, depending on how the Republic does, so it could or couldn't happen. In the couple of hours that I've played, though, it's happened every single time. Every time. So, this is how pretty much every single match I have played went. Actually, I believe every single match that I've played has gone this way. There's been no exceptions. Republic defeats the Separatists in the first phase. Separatists defeat the Republic in the second phase. Even when I was on a Separatist team that got stomped, destroyed in the first phase, it was relatively easy to defend the capture points in the second phase against the Republic and get victory. From my own experience, there seems to be some balancing issues in the second phase that favors the Separatists. Again, I want to stress that that has been my own experience. I know people always run around screaming balancing issues, or this or that is OP. And hey, experiences vary quite a bit, right? You can't just take one player's word for it. But that has been my personal experience. And who knows, my perceived balancing issue might just be growing pains for the Republic forces. After all, I saw a lot of players trying to break into the capture point through one choke point, when there are multiple ways, multiple flanks to get into the room. People just need to figure out how to play it. Maybe that's it. Maybe it'll balance itself out. I loved the design of the second phase, even though it kind of felt like another Galactic Assault map, but not as detailed. I don't know, I liked it. Close quarters to long range, back and forth, choke points, slow opening control doors, moving through massive skinny corridors that open up to enormous rooms. It's a really fun phase. One that I was initially iffy about even having. That being said, for me, the first phase takes the cake because it is where Capital Supremacy shines. The second phase could have been present in any other game mode. I hope the development team majorly focuses on Capital Supremacy moving forward. For me, I don't care about skins or new heroes or anything like that. Maps and modes, guys. You know, I'm happy with all the other maps that we have for all the other modes. But there's gold in Capital Supremacy, and it's kind of a bummer to only see one map available for it. I can see myself playing Capital Supremacy more than any other mode. Most of you know that I tend to play smaller game modes like Strike or Extraction or Blast, but as enormous as Capital Supremacy is, the fact that it's filled with non-linear paths, breaking up the players into smaller sections on a giant map, it goes from small to big to small. I like it. It's a game mode that I wish was available from the very beginning, but hey, what's done is done. Let's look forward. But yeah, one map? I understand it's taken a long time to make Geonosis. They break it up in different game modes. They've even created a new game mode for this enormous map. But I think people coming to the game now, seeing this new mode, I think they'd be disappointed that it's only one map. So that's why I'm crossing my fingers that they're gonna majorly focus on this game mode, because I think this game mode really is the future of Battlefront 2. If they keep pushing the development of this mode, I think the game will shine even further. So I'm really crossing my fingers and hope that we'll get more locations for Capital Supremacy. What locations would you guys want? Let me know in the comment section below. For me, as an original trilogy fanboy asshole, I think Hoth and Endor are no-brainers. How are you liking Capital Supremacy so far? Are you enjoying it? Have you even had a chance to play it considering it came out today on a work/school day? I know the development team needs their weekends too, but release these updates on a Saturday when all the kiddies are home. HelloGreedo, out.